We are two moms.
Yes, we are.
And we're making history, but like physically making it.
Yeah.
Like
Historical dress.
Hi, everybody. We are Moms Making History. I'm Kara, and this is Allie.
Hi.
I'm a historian,
I am a costume designer.
and together we are gonna work our way through history.
We have 21 questions for the CosTube Symposium. Number 1, what is your favorite genre of costuming?
Historical! Because I am just all one thing.
Mine's split. Because I like fantasy, cosplay, as well as historical. So both. Is that lame?
No,
Both.
it's not lame. I mean, we both got into costuming through cosplay.
Yeah.
When we were in high school, and we made safety pin and like hot glue
Yep.
Trigun costumes.
Yep. I still have mine.
You do?
I do. It was sentimental.
But then I found the Living History Society of Minnesota, and they were like, actually, this is how you do it accurately. And I was like, I want to do it accurately. And so then it took me 3 years to make my first dress because I was like, can't make any mistakes, must be perfect. Ah!
You would think I'm like a sucker for accuracy, but I get fed up and then I take shortcuts.
Because, well, you know so much about what you're doing, too. Because you've already trained as a theater costumer, so then
Yeah.
you're like, I know a faster way to do
I know
this.
shortcuts. I know fast ways to get stuff done. Do you want to read the next question?
Oh, I think we just answered it. What originally got you into costuming, cosplay, living history, etc.?
Oh, yeah. Cosplay in
Yeah.
high school.
Yeah.
Which of the projects are you the proudest of?
Ooh. Probably my pink dress. It took me 3 years to make it. I better be proud of it.
Yeah.
But it has little puff sleeves. Mm-hmm. And I love them. And I think they're beautiful. And I love the drop shoulder of the 1860s because I have no shoulders. I feel like my best look is the 1860s because I'm kind of, got bags under my eyes that look a little emaciated and no shoulders to speak of.
I guess I'm like...
It's hard because we haven't done much recently because of the pandemic, so then you don't have stuff to think about, but like you've won some awards for some of your costumes. So
Mm-hmm. Still, I'm between the ones that I've maybe won awards for, but also my theater costumes. I did Beauty and the Beast a few years ago for high school, and I am still very proud of some of those costumes. Creating utensil costumes on a very small budget, because it's a high school. I think I'm really proud of that one. I have imposter syndrome. Really,
that's so not true.
And I have to remind myself, no, you know what you're doing. You have a
bachelor's degree in this stuff.
What you're doing. You went to school for this. You've worked in professional theaters. You know what you're doing. But I'm still like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just kind of fake it,
Well, some of the best advice you ever gave me was just finagle it. And I think about that every time when I'm like pushing something through the sewing machine and I'm like, this is gonna be fine. Finagle it. Allie said it's okay. Ooh, what project taught you the most? I have to think about this too.
I really have to think about this. Honestly, getting into the historical reenactment stuff because I learned through theater, it's all modern sewing, even when it's a historical production. You put zippers in everything, you need to do quick changes, getting into the Living History Society and working with actual historical techniques.
I just held back a sneeze. I'm really proud of myself.
Oh, I love sneezing. Sneezing is so fun.
It feels good. It doesn't feel good when you don't do it.
No.
Ugh. Trying to think of whatever project it was that I took apart and had to redo multiple times. It's probably the corset. Fitting is hard.
It is.
It's so hard.
So hard to fit on yourself.
Like, how do you know where to pull from?
It's because there's a muscle. There's a muscle right here.
Oh.
And you can feel it when you flex your arm.
Oh.
And you want that muscle to have the room to move. So that is what you curve the arm side around.
Okay, that explains why I'm getting bruises when I take my dress off.
Drape, draft commercial pattern? Question mark.
Probably a combination of drafting and draping, but I'll draft it in a very non-mathematical kind of like feeling way.
Kind of eyeball it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, these are the measurements. This should make sense. This is probably right.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at following directions. Is one of the options just having somebody show me how to do it?
I don't think so.
Because that would be neat.
Yeah. I love commercial patterns. I'm
surprised to hear you say that.
I love commercial. I use them all the time, and I rip them apart and I reshape them to whatever I want. I like draping. I hate drafting because I think about it in the mathematical way.
Oh, you do, yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to figure it out. I can't. I don't want to.
What skill would you like to learn?
Embroidery. I'm working on an Edwardian corset, and I want to do flossing, at least on the ends.
You're so pretty.
It's so pretty, and I know it's not like embroidery, but it is.
I want to learn soutache. It's one of those things where if you don't know how to do it or you've never done it before, and you're like, I must research.
Yeah.
I must find everything must be perfect and accurate because I don't know what I'm doing. Which is why I've never done it.
Let's see.
Do you have an old sewing machine over here?
Yeah.
It's so beautiful and shiny.
I know. I need to tighten the foot. The presser foot doesn't hold the fabric down very well.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah. So, yeah, I got that for my birthday last year because I wanted an old Kenmore. I love old Kenmores.
There's just a pile of gingham over here.
Yeah, that's for Samantha.
Oh, it's perfect. I love.
How many pieces are lurking in your UFO bin?
Do you have a ready answer?
I've lost count. You just touched part of my UFO bin. That bag down there is full of stuff I'm working on.
One day I was organizing my sewing room, and so I decided to take all of my UFOs and put them in separate bins so that each one could be easily ported out and taken to work on. But then I realized that I didn't have enough space to do that. But I know I have a paletot that I'm gonna do. I've got bright grass green fabric for it, and it's gonna be amazing. But it's still in the drafting stage. I'm gonna do some Regency short stays. I'm doing a ball gown. That's also still in like drafting timeout from 2 years ago.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have this. Like, I get really excited about the fabric, and so then I'll buy the fabric and I'll be like, yes, you are going to be a ball gown. You're going to be amazing. It's like orange rainbow sherbet situation. It's so aggressive. I love it. I also have a petticoat that I started 2 years ago that I'm in the middle of doing tucks on, and I just haven't finished it.
There's always little things that just make you go, yeah, I don't want to do that right now, so I'm just going to not do that. I'm going to start something else.
7 years later. The funny thing with the petticoat too is I have done pin tucks on multiple other projects, but I won't do the pin tucks on that project for some reason. What is the most unconventional material you have used? You've used many unconventional materials.
I have, like hardware bathroom caulk, like the kind that comes in the squirt gun.
For what?
That was one of the base layers for my Elsa bodice.
What?
So, like, I layered fabric upon fabric upon fabric to make the little... Because I didn't want to use sequins, so I layered, like, little bits of fabric, and then I went over it with that to make it that plasticky but flexible look, and then painted over that.
Genius. When my sister and I did the Evil Stepsisters from Cinderella, we really wanted to have a big bustle that swayed when we walked, like aggressively swayed and just like bounced and just was everywhere. My mom came up with the idea that we put a laundry basket and hung it across our butts, and that when we walked, our legs would hit the back of it and it would bounce. And it was so good.
It worked so well.
So well.
Which era or genre would you still like to make a costume of?
All of them!
Yeah, all of them. I mean, I'm working on Edwardian right now, which I really like, but I really want to do Regency.
Yeah. I would like to do Regency as well. I'm very short-waisted, so I have a feeling I'm going to look really good in it. Biggest sewing pet peeve?
When the bobbin runs out.
Oh my god, I hate that. Yes. Do you notice right away, or do you generally?
Usually I do, because mine has a clear top over the bobbin, so I can sometimes keep an eye on it, but occasionally it gets away from me, and then I open, and it all just comes apart.
My pet peeve is when I have to redo something. I just want to do it perfectly the first time. I hate my seam ripper. And there is nothing more satisfying than when you can just take your seam ripper and go, let's see if I can get it to do this. Yes! Oh, it's beautiful.
What kind of seam ripper do you have? Because
Why?
I have the best seam ripper in the world. I don't
Could this change my relationship with seam rippers? Sitting here.
I don't know. She could be missing. Let's check under.
She could be missing?
I lose everything.
Does she have a name?
No. Well, sort of. Her name is Clover.
Oh, it's nice and small. This is smaller than mine.
Here, this is. No,
you gotta put your hand behind it, just like a good YouTuber does.
There we go. The Clover seam ripper. Everybody.
It's not sponsored, though.
Not sponsored.
Not
you can
sponsored.
get these at Joann Fabrics. They're in the embroidery section and the quilting section.
Okay, yeah.
I love it. Okay. And it makes seam ripping feel nice because... because it's nice and sharp. Yeah. It stays sharp for a really long time.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, mine is already dull. That's probably part of why I hate it.
Yeah. What is your favorite tool to use?
I have some Japanese needles that I inherited from Kyle's grandmother when she passed away, and they are incredibly sharp. And I have brand new Sharps needles that I bought a couple years ago that I'm moving through, and these ones, like, it's no comparison. They are so much sharper, so much straighter, so much stronger. Oh my god, they're so nice.
Yeah.
They don't make stuff like that anymore.
No, they don't. My favorite is probably my serger. I love my serger. It makes finishing the inside of garments really easy. I hate unfinished on the inside. So I love it, and I can't use it for my historical stuff because it's not historical.
It's not accurate.
It's not
I mean, you could use it, but it just wouldn't be accurate.
Yeah, and I'm trying to be accurate. I'm trying to be a good seamstress.
What did you do or learn in the past year that you are most proud of?
I've been avoiding my sewing room a lot in the past year.
Yeah.
Thanks, outside world.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Is she gonna show and tell?
I'm gonna do a show and tell because it's right here.
It's so cute too. Oh my god. I love it.
My bonnet.
Oh, I still have to finish my bonnet. That's another UFO I have.
Yeah. I did not make the bonnet structure. I bought it from a friend, but it was undecorated. And so I just finished decorating it a few weeks ago, and now it does so this, and it's so cute. Oh
my god.
And it's got ribbon, and I love it, and it's so pretty.
More is more.
More is more.
I love that. The moire ribbon too.
I know. I know, and I just love I love the top flower. Oh, look at it. Stop focusing on my face. Ooh, flower.
The thing that I made in the last year that I'm most proud of, my daughter's bonnet.
It's so cute. You
Yes.
can put in footage.
It's like a linen bonnet that I embroidered flowers on. It's just darling. And I made it adjustable so that it would fit her, hopefully, for 2 years. What costume would you like to revisit?
Probably Belle from Beauty and the Beast, but I want to make it historical.
That'd be so cute.
And I know it's been done before, but she's my favorite
what?
Disney princess. I've made her dress like a million times. I've made it 2 or 3 times for myself. I've made it for theater. I've made it for commissions, but I've never done it in a historical manner.
What would I like to revisit? Nothing. I would like to not revisit anything and do it perfectly the first time. That's my answer.
Best sewing tool you have ever invested in?
I did buy a new sewing machine a couple of years ago because my refurbished brother machine died, which made sense. I was talking to the sewing machine repairman at Treadle, and he was like, oh, you should probably buy a Janome machine because they have really, really replaceable parts. So I bought a Janome machine, and I was very excited about it. Do you have a blue Janome?
Yeah. That one's Harrison's.
So cute.
I have my nice dress form. It's behind the camera.
Oh, the collapsible shoulder one.
Yeah, it's definitely not my size, but I can pad it out if needed. But it's just come in handy for throwing things on really quick.
Yeah, I would love to get a dress form that's actually my size, but my size keeps changing, so what's the point of investing in that?
But you can get adjustable ones. My adjustable one is old and very broken, like the inside plastic pieces have started snapping completely off. So for my birthday, I'm going to ask for a new adjustable one that's more in like the larger size category. Most satisfying technique.
Ooh. Which one? I love blanket stitch.
Stitching in the ditch.
Oh, I am so scared of doing that. It looks scary. Like, how do you, I'm gonna mess it up. And I hate, you know how I hate going back and redoing stuff.
Yep. Well, it is, but also you have to sew over pins because you're sewing from the front side of the fabric, but you have to pin the back side. It's a dangerous one.
I always hit the pins.
So do I. I break needles all the time. But whatever. I live dangerously. Half of my pins are bent because needles hit them.
I'm looking over at your table right now, and I can see that you are right.
I try to bend them back out, and then I'm like, yeah, you're fine.
Do you pick a project and then procure materials, or do you collect materials and let them speak to you?
I usually pick the project first and then go material hunting.
Yeah, me too. Because I always nickel and dime myself at the fabric store. So I have to come up with like, oh, this is going to be this in order to justify buying it. But then I get home after the, high of getting all of the cool new fabric falls away. And then you're like, do I want to make that out of it? I don't know. It could be something else, baby. I don't know. I have fabric for TR's outfit that I'm probably never going to use for TR's outfit because he hates clothes and old stuff. He told me the other day, he was like, Mom, I don't like old stuff. And I was like, who are you? Get out of my house.
Children, why?
He's like, what will hurt you the most?
Yeah, I'll ask my older two, I'm like, do you want me to make you like a little historical suit? And they're like, no.
Well, see, they don't understand what playing in a historical event could be. And there's a lot of kids who will play war at these events, which I don't understand. But apparently boys love to do that. My son is all like, oh, yeah, he's got a gun. I'm like, where did you even know about guns? How did you even find out about them?
I know. I tried to not have that be a thing in my house, and it's still a thing in my house. I mean, it doesn't help that my husband loves Nerf guns. My youngest, not even 3, running around with a Nerf gun going, shooting! I'm like, oh my God, you're not even 3. Why is this happening?
Oh my God. What are your... Is it? No, it's your turn.
Is it? I don't know.
I think it is. I don't... Mom brain is a real thing.
I don't remember what day it is most of the time. What are your goals or plans moving forward?
I want to make a wrapper and I want to make a ball gown. I'm pretty well couched in the 1860s, I think, right now. It's so relevant. It's so relevant and important. I mean, I like the style, but I'm not in that period for the style. There's so much conflict. There's so much drama. There's so much like exploring and thinking about who are we and who do we want to be. And I just think that is so relevant to now. It's important.
See, mine is a lot less profound. I want to finish my Edwardian Samantha recreation. Samantha, the American Girl doll. Because childhood dreams. But now I'm an adult, so I'm going to make it an adult dress version.
Do you have any sewing assistants? It says parentheses pets, but I feel like it could also include children. Is Harrison old enough now that you can set him to stitching things for you?
So he'll ask me, when can I go work on my costume more? And I'm like, it's so hard with your little brothers because they can't. Yeah, and then my pets are not allowed down here.
My 1-year-old wants to touch everything and get into everything. She was pulling off my skirt yesterday, trying to look at it, and when I took it away from her, she was like,
oh, how dare you, mother?
She's got the lip quiver down, and
my
I'm like, I'm
God.
so sorry. Here, have a scrap of fabric. She's like, it's not the same.
Oh, I do have mice down here.
Oh my God, you're Cinderella.
I am.
Oh my gosh. They work on her projects when she is not here.
At least one of the mice learned not to go upstairs. We have 2 cats. Do you have any bad sewing habits?
Does like obsessive perfectionism count as a bad sewing habit?
Probably.
Fear of commitment, so I never start.
I have probably a lot. That's one of my bad habits, is just going, it's good enough. Not fixing things that should definitely be fixed.
So we have the opposite problem. If we could have a child together, that child would be perfectly balanced.
Yep.
And have no bad sewing habits. Oh, I love this stupid question.
Yep.
Do you put your pins in parallel to the seam line you're sewing, or do you pin perpendicular?
Depends on what I'm sewing.
I'm like dying to know. Because I feel like this has to be like a personality trait or something.
It really depends on what I'm sewing.
What does it say about your personality?
Normally, I put them parallel. Like, I put them directly on the line I'm sewing, and then I pull them out as I sew. But if it's a curve, if it's any kind of curved seam, I will do perpendicular and sew over the pins.
I always do perpendicular, but I don't sew over my pins. I have a little strip of magnet that I put right on the inside of my machine, so I can just go and pull them out, and then they stick.
Nice.
It's really satisfying.
Yep.
Perpendicular. Forever.
Mostly parallel, sometimes perpendicular. What do you like to watch or listen to while sewing?
I have this idea in my mind that I'm going to listen to audiobooks about history so that I can learn about history while I'm sewing historically. But let's be real honest, I don't do that. I watch YouTube videos or HGTV.
If I need to be feeling inspired, YouTube. If I'll go watch all the other costumers making things, and then I'm like, I want to make things too. But otherwise, I have my go-to TV shows. Ghost Adventures, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which I have seen that entire series way too much.
Yeah, you've been watching that show while you sew for basically your whole adult life.
Twice a year for 15 years or so.
So you've probably seen the show 30 times.
I've probably seen the entire series 30 times.
Okay. Look, I did math.
It's my favorite show, and it's just something, since I know it so well, I can just put it on in the background. I don't even have to look at the screen. But Ghost Adventures has been my go-to the last few days. Just put that on, listen to Zach Bagans run around and howl at the darkness.
It's a demon!
Oh my God, everything's a demon, and I love it.
My house definitely has a ghost. And so every time our children do something weird, we're like, ghosts?
I'm so excited for Halloween. Last year, I allowed myself to buy 1 or 2 items because I have a problem. So this year, I'm like, I'm just gonna let me live my best life.
Yes!
Because...
Oh my God! We've been in quarantine for a year and a half. Just buy the things. Life is short. And who knows when we'll be in quarantine again. So just go and live your best life.
I know.
Well,
that was the last question.
We're done now. Bye. Remember that time you laughed for like a half an hour? No, it was like an hour.
It was an hour and a half. I laughed for an hour and a half straight because I was hopped up on caffeine and chocolate.
I'm just really proud of you that you didn't pee yourself.
Oh my God, I would totally pee myself now. I would.